Hey, today we're going through 8 different animals that can kill you in the most brutal and unimaginable ways. I'll also tell you what's the best shot you have at surviving each one. And since things get progressively more brutal and painful through the video, we will keep a brutality meter on screen so we don't get lost. Number 8. Wolf. Imagine you wake up in a boreal forest campsite at dawn, somewhere like northern Alberta. Some small groups of northwestern gray wolves range around here. They are large, cold-adapted wolves that hunt elk and moose by endurance and teamwork. Packs test prey, look for weakness, and try to split targets from the herd. They usually avoid humans, but hunger, habituation to human food, or a loose dog can flip that script pretty quickly. But you don't know any of this, and your dog is pretty agitated, so you unzip the tent and go for a quick walk. Your breath makes little clouds in the cold air. The trees are quiet, and you can notice a faint green glow flying low in the sky. You are happy because it's the first time you've seen an aurora. Then you hear one soft crack from a twig. Your dog freezes. You see 1, then 2, then 5. But instead of what you'd probably expect, they do not rush you like a movie chase. Wolves pressure you with angles, trying to get behind and make you move. It's the same strategy they use to hunt animals, circling close and cutting off escape until something goes down. So then your dog starts barking, and that's basically a dinner bell. If you try to run, they eat the angle and are on you in less than 2 seconds. Wolves can sprint around 31 to 37 miles an hour for short bursts. You, on the other hand, have been skipping leg day and are wearing camp Crocs. So let's be honest, you'd trip on a root and end up eaten alive before you noticed. So what would probably happen looks more like this. One wolf faints at you while another slices sideways and clamps your dog's neck. You yank the leash. A third wolf rips the back of your calf just enough to fold you. A fourth tags your forearm, releases, then tags again. Bite and let go. Bite and let go until your balance is gone. Once you're down, they keep you there and slowly go up for your throat when you finally stop moving. As you can see, wolves can get really aggressive when they see dogs. But I am magic, so I do not count. If you're wondering why something this brutal is so early on the list, it's because wolves rarely attack humans. Most avoid people, and when things go wrong, it's usually food habituation, a bold pack that's been fed at campgrounds, a sick or rabid animal, or, big one, someone brought a dog. If it happens anyway, your best odds are boring, but effective. Don't run. Get the dog behind you on a tight leash, or pick it up if it's small. Stand tall, square up, and talk loud and firm while you back away. Make hard eye contact with the pushiest wolf. Throw rocks or sticks like you mean it. Deploy bear spray in a cloud if they close inside a few meters. If they bite, fight the face and nose. Use a jacket or pack as a shield, and keep moving toward a car, cabin, or people. Your job is to be the loudest, sting-in-the-eyes problem they've had all week, so they decide elk is easier. Number 7. Silverback gorilla. Imagine you've joined a guided trek in the Virunga Mountains, East Africa. A silverback is somewhere in the green with his family, doing normal gorilla things like peeling leaves and babysitting juveniles. Silverbacks can weigh roughly 330 to 485 pounds, with a wingspanish reach over 7.5 feet, a big sagittal crest for jaw muscles, and forearms built for climbing and shoving, not chasing. Mountain gorillas are mostly leaf and shoot eaters, but those canines are real display tools that also make terrible staplers. But you didn't read the brochure carefully enough to catch every detail, so you step off the trail for a quick pee, dogless this time, just you and your brilliant decision to wander into the ferns. While you are relieving yourself in a tree, you hear a bush move. Then a hoot and a chest beat that sounds like someone thumping a hollow drum. A juvenile peeks, you lift your phone, and you do the worst possible thing. You smile big for the selfie. Showing teeth reads as threat. You lock eyes because you want the shot. He ground slaps, rips a handful of vegetation, and bluff charges. You flinch, backpedal, and freeze for half a second, which is all he needs. He closes the gap in 2 steps, and you learn what a forearm the size of your torso feels like. One shove, and you helicopter into the moss. A fist pins your shoulder, then a bite finds your forearm, quick and deep. A rip that turns your hand into warm noise. He swats you, drags you by the pack strap, and stomps. When you go quiet and small, he stands over you, and once his family has flowed past, he peels away without ceremony. For the record, gorillas can sprint faster than you for short bursts and hit like a truck, but most attacks stop once the message lands. As you can see, gorillas are brutal when provoked, but they're not stalking you for food. Most incidents start because people stare, show teeth, crowd infants, or ignore guide distance, which is about 23 to 33 feet. What you should do instead is really simple, but it works. Do not run, do not stare, and do not show teeth. Make yourself small, mouth closed, eyes down, and speak low like you're dealing with three dudes staring you in the corner. Angle your body sideways, slowly back away, and keep a big tree between you and him. Never get between a silverback and his family, and absolutely never reach for a baby. If a charge happens, curl, protect your neck, and go limp until it's over. Your job is to be the least interesting problem in the forest, so the lecture ends and the family moves on. Number 6. Box jellyfish. Imagine you're walking waist deep in water on a nice sunny morning in northern Queensland or the Philippines when something crosses your leg like fishing line. You push it away, and your skin lights up like it touched a stovetop. Pale, whip-like lines show instantly on your skin. You don't see the culprit because a box jellyfish is practically invisible in clear water. They have a cube-shaped bell and long, clear tentacles that can trail several yards, each packed with stinging cells primed to fire on contact. Some species, like the Australian box jellyfish, actively hunt small fish instead of just drifting. What's happening under the skin is a microscopic harpoon party. Each tentacle carries hundreds of thousands of cnidocytes. When they touch you, they shoot nematocysts that inject venom in a fraction of a second. The result is instant, excruciating pain and those classic whip mark burns. If the contact is heavy though, enough venom can push your heart and lungs toward shutdown within minutes, arrhythmias, blood pressure chaos, and then you would end up drowning. Their stings are biochemical nuclear bombs that will kill you on multiple levels at the same time, and that's why they are so dangerous. Now what are you supposed to do if the water suddenly feels like it's cooking you? Get out now. Do not rub. Flood the area with vinegar to disable any unfired stingers. Then carefully lift off tentacles with a stick or a glove. If someone's fading or pulseless, start CPR immediately. Cardiac arrest can happen in minutes with big exposures. In northern Australia, there's a specific anti-venom for severe chironex stings. Beaches often have vinegar, stinger season warnings, and nets or full-body suits for a reason. Hot water immersion helps pain for some jellyfish, but for true box jellyfish, the priority is vinegar plus airway while you get medical care. The good news is that even though it's brutal, it's mostly avoidable. Box jellies are seasonal and coastal. Locals use suits and nets, and most stings aren't heavy enough to cause a catastrophe. But I can't say the same for the next animal that we got on the list. Number 5. Black Rhinocerous. So let's say you're tired of beaches and invisible assassins and decide to go inland. Thorny acacia scrub in Namibia, southwestern Africa. You know there's a black rhino somewhere around? Fresh tracks, shit piles, and shrubs clipped like someone used salad tongs. Rhinos are short, tank-shaped browsers that weigh about 1,800 to 3,000 pounds, stand roughly 5 feet at the shoulder, and can hit approximately 34 miles per hour in a burst. They have terrible eyesight, which is good for you, but can smell and hear incredibly well. One cool thing is that their horns aren't made of bones, as most people assume. They're almost entirely made of keratin, the same protein that makes up human hair and nails. This structure makes them strong but also lighter, and able to regrow if broken or trimmed. Then you actually meet him and make the classic mistake. You step where the wind carries your scent, or you edge into his path because your brain wants a clean photo. It snaps its head, swivels its ears, snorts, and stomps you. The horn punches your hip and lifts. You go to the sky, then to the ground, and thorn branches shred across your skin as you're thrown. You hit the dirt hard on your side, the impact knocking the air out before you can scream. Ribs crack under the weight as the rhino drives its bulk down, grinding bone against earth. Then it hooks again, tossing you even higher, and when you land, a front foot slams into your back with crushing force, collapsing everything underneath. Unfortunately, we're getting into the zone where there isn't much you can do. If a 3,000-pound tank starts running your way while you're built like that, it's probably over already. Your best odds are all before the charge. Stay with real guides, Stay downwind, give a huge buffer, and never, ever get between a cow and her calf. If it kicks off anyway, put serious mass between you and him, maybe a big tree trunk or a boulder, and do not try to outrun approximately 34 miles per hour on open ground. And before you think they're only brutal because of their size, the next animal is actually 20 times smaller than a rhino. Yet the way it can kill you is much, much more brutal. Number 4. Komodo dragon. Now that savannas, beaches, and boreal forests have all tried to delete you, you pick an island, like Komodo or Rinca, Indonesia, because you've heard there are dinosaurs there. You've been told to stay on the path, but you smell old pennies and fish. That's a carcass, by the way. And your curiosity votes yes. The coolest thing about Komodo dragons is that they carry about 60 serrated teeth made just like steak knives. Their bite is not just incredibly strong, but brings venom. And their toxins tank blood pressure and mess with clotting, so they can lacerate you, bleed you out, and trail you until you fold. And because you're dumb as fuck, you step off the path for the clean photo. You see him in the grass, with a big head, slow tongue flick, and eyes like dead marbles, and your brain goes, I bet I can touch it. You crouch and hand out. He doesn't roar. He just slides forward, low and quiet, then tail whips your shins like a bat and drops you. Their bite is not a chomp like normal animals, it's a saw. Hook, twist, rip. He lets go, rebites higher, then claws break you open like a zipper. This is why they're different. Most animals try to crush you or tear you apart fast, but a dragon turns you into a leek. Venom makes your blood thin and your pressure crash, so standing gets harder every second. He doesn't need to sprint, he paces, tongue tasting your blood in the air, following the red trail while you get weaker and slower. If you try to kick, he climbs the kick like a ladder. If you try a tree, he can climb enough to ruin your plan. If you try the water, he swims better than you. He's super patient. He will chew your legs until walking ends, then wait for physics to finish the job. But let's say you only catch one quick bite and somehow wobble away. Maybe with my help. You made it to the dock, but you're shaking and noticed your skin is going gray. Your legs won't stop bleeding because your blood won't clot, your vision tunnels, and the world tilts like an elevator floor giving out. You lie down just for a second, but your heart starts to really mess up your blood pressure. It goes high, then low, then nothing, while the venom keeps the leaks leaking. People think dirty mouth bacteria is what gets you days later, but that's false. More likely you fade in an hour from blood loss and a pressure crash, and that lizard is somewhere on the trail admiring your bad choices. I'm not gonna lie, there's probably nothing you could have done in this situation. Of course, you could have just not been there in the first place, but that isn't funny, and I'd put you there anyway for the sake of the video. Anyway, we are about to get into the top 3, so it will get really, really cruel for you now. Number 3, green anaconda. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no way a snake deserves the 3rd spot as the most brutal, painful death in nature. Snakes just bite you, and you die of venom a couple days later, right? So what could be so bad? Well, a green anaconda is not a regular snake. These things are huge, like actually huge. All of the images here are from real specimens. Big females can pass 16 feet and weigh well over 220 pounds. They live in the Amazon and Orinoco river systems in South America, and you're about to find out why they are ranked so high. If you're unlucky enough to meet one, the first thing it would do is not hiss and think about it. It would hit. The snake bites first to anchor, a mouthful of backward curved teeth, so your leg goes in but does not come out. Then the body whips around you like a fire hose. 1 loop, 2, 3, and your arms are pinned to your ribs. The problem is that they do not squeeze the air out slowly. Good constrictors shut down blood flow. Every time you exhale, the coil tightens like a seatbelt ratchet, and now your chest can't re-expand. Your face goes hot, then sparkly, while your legs are still stuck in the mud. You could try to grab a knife, but your hands are trapped. You could try to stand, but you're in a bundle. The snake slides a coil higher, right over your chest, then another around your neck. In water, it's worse. You tip sideways, and the river moves into your mouth. Blackout can come in under a minute, heart failure in a few more, and if the squeeze doesn't finish you, the water does. Now let's say a magic dog helped you to get out of the constriction. Congrats! Now you're leaking from 100 tooth tracks, and your ribs feel like cracked rulers. Your arms don't work right, your chest can't pull a full breath, and you're still in a swamp with mud up to your knees. The snake may just loop again. You're slower now, and they are built for this anyway. Even if it gives up, you can still drop in minutes. Internal bleeding, water you inhaled when you went under, shock turning your vision into a tunnel. You'd probably lie down for 1 second, and that's the roll credits moment. Number 2, polar bear. You got really tired of dying in every corner of the earth, so you fly to the top of the world to find the edge of Earth flat earthers won't shut up about. It's white everywhere you see, and the air tastes like a freezer. You probably think there's nothing that could harm you in a place like this, until you notice a big white rock that wasn't there 5 minutes ago. Polar bears are one of the only animals that hunts humans on purpose. A polar bear doesn't bluff, charge, or yell. It reads the wind, can hunt your traces, and can close the gap between you within literal seconds. They are so smart that they angle downwind so your nose never catches him, then appear at 50 feet with that slow, straight walk that means you are food. First hit is a forepaw to the head that folds your neck and puts you face first in the snow. Then, teeth go for head and throat, in your scalp first because it's easy to grab, then the base of your skull, then the side of your neck. But polar bears do not kill you and leave, they make a long beating. Claws pin. He bites, holds, chews, and keeps working you like a seal, making sure you don't die yet. If you try to curl, he rolls you open, and if you try to scream, snow fills your mouth. He'll eat you while you're still alive, starting at the head and neck, then shoulders. If nobody shows up, he will finish the job and then drag what's left out of the wind. Now, let's say you, somehow, got out of the first grab. Your ear is still gone, and you have a hole the size of a can in your neck, buddy. Polar bears weigh typically 1,000 pounds and can run up to 25 miles per hour, which is more than enough to catch anyone, especially you. The only reason why they are not top one is because they at least have the mercy of starting with the head, so you'd actually die quickly after your beating. But absolutely nothing compares to the brutality you are about to see on the top one. I'm about to show you, but quick thing. This is my first video. If you've watched this far, you're clearly enjoying it, so please hit subscribe and like the video. These animations are simple, but aren't cheap or quick to make, and that's the best way to tell me you want more. Now back to the video. Number 1, saltwater crocodile. Saltwater crocodiles are by far the strongest killing machines on the planet. If you thought the 16 feet of the green anaconda was already huge, these crocodiles are massive. They can pass 23 feet, making them the largest reptiles alive. All the photos you're seeing are of real saltwater crocodiles next to average humans, so yeah, you're pretty cooked. They are so strong that their bite hits a whopping 4,000 psi. For comparison, the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in the ocean, sits at about 16,000 psi. That's about 7 miles of water pressing you down. And a crocodile bite has about a quarter of that packed into its jaws. But the most terrifying thing about them isn't the size or the force, it is how they ambush their victims. Let's say you fly to Northern Australia to get the real wild for your feed. A guide says, don't stand on the edge, which of course means you stand on the edge. What would happen next is exactly this, and in that order. First, it would snatch your leg above the knee and clamp like a steel trap. Your foot leaves the ground, your world tilts, and you're already moving. The croc yanks backward with a tail-driven burst, and you skim the surface like a skipped stone. You don't even finish the scream before the water closes. Underwater, everything goes quiet except for the roar in your head. The croc tucks its legs, drives with the tail, and drags you into a brown-green nothing. You try to grab at anything, mud, reeds, your own thigh, but you only feel the bite tighten when you fight. The croc pins you against the bottom or a root tangle and waits. This part is the drown. 30, maybe 60 seconds of panic, and you finally see the lights going out. Then comes the signature move, the death roll. The croc twists its entire body like a corkscrew, and your leg twists with it. Ligaments pop. The knee goes one way, the hip the other. If the first roll doesn't take something off, the second or third will. If there are more crocs, and there can be, Each takes a piece and rolls in a different direction. Finally, the tear. Once you stop moving, they rip off a limb or a slab, eat it, and if there's a crowd, they'll stash what's left under a log jam to make it soft. It would only come back a couple of hours, and maybe days later to finish eating what is left of you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like the video, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe.